My beloved child. Stop scrolling for a moment. This message found you for a reason. Do not rush past these words, because what you are about to hear carries a story that changed everything in a single night. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and every moment from here will reveal another piece of a truth that has remained hidden far longer than anyone expected. Last night, while the world was quiet and most people believed nothing extraordinary was happening, a conversation began that no one planned. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was simply honest. And sometimes, honesty has the greatest power of all. Your soulmate was not expecting to hear your name. They were thinking about ordinary things, trying to move through another evening, convincing themselves they already understood who you were. They believed they had gathered enough pieces of your story to know the whole picture. They believed there was nothing left to discover. Then someone looked directly at them and quietly said, "You don't really know the truth." Everything changed with those few words. Don't skip. Because what happened next was something your soulmate never imagined. At first, they smiled politely. They assumed it would be another opinion, another rumor, another passing comment that would disappear before sunrise. But the person speaking did not continue with gossip. They spoke with calm confidence, sharing details no one could have invented. They described your silent kindness. They spoke about the moments when you helped people without asking for recognition. They revealed the times you carried burdens that no one else even noticed. They explained how you chose peace instead of pride, patience instead of anger, hope instead of giving up. Your soulmate listened without interrupting. With every sentence, another assumption disappeared. With every truth, another misunderstanding faded away. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the conversation continued, your soulmate realized something unexpected. They had never truly seen the complete version of you. They had only known fragments. Pieces. Small moments. Incomplete memories. The person speaking began describing chapters of your life that your soulmate had never heard before. The challenges you faced quietly. The dreams you refused to abandon. The nights you wondered whether anyone truly understood your heart. The mornings you smiled even when your spirit felt exhausted. Every sentence carried another surprise. Every truth replaced another false assumption. Your soulmate could hardly believe that the person they thought they understood had been carrying such remarkable strength all along. For a long moment, they became completely silent. Not because they had nothing to say. Because they suddenly had too much to think about. Have you ever experienced the moment when one conversation changes the way you see someone forever? That is exactly what happened. The image they had created in their mind began transforming before their eyes. Your kindness became clearer. Your loyalty became deeper. Your patience became more valuable. Your heart became impossible to ignore. Don't skip. This story is only beginning. As midnight moved closer, another truth emerged. The person speaking leaned forward and quietly asked your soulmate a question. What if you've been looking at the wrong details this entire time? Those words stayed in the room. No one rushed to answer. Because deep inside, your soulmate knew there might be truth hidden inside that question. They started remembering moments they had almost forgotten. The way your words carried sincerity. The way your actions matched your promises. The way you remained genuine even when no one was watching. Suddenly, ordinary memories became extraordinary. Things they once ignored now carried completely different meaning. It was as if invisible pieces of a puzzle were finally finding their correct places. And then, another unexpected revelation arrived. The person smiled gently and said, "Do you know why people trust them?" Your soulmate quietly shook their head. Because they stay true to their heart even when nobody notices. Those words echoed again and again. Not loudly, but powerfully. Your soulmate could no longer deny what they were hearing. Every story matched another story. Every detail confirmed another detail. Everything connected perfectly. For the first time, they realized that the version of you they had carried in their mind had never been complete. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the night grew quieter, your soulmate asked the question they had been holding back. Why didn't anyone tell me this before? The answer came without hesitation. Because some truths can only be understood when the right moment arrives. Those words settled deeply inside their heart. Nothing around them looked different. But everything inside them had begun to change. They weren't just hearing information anymore. They were seeing you differently. Feeling differently. Thinking differently. One realization after another continued unfolding. They remembered conversations they once misunderstood. Silences they once misread. Moments they once overlooked. Now every memory carried a completely different meaning. The truth had quietly rewritten the past. Your soulmate could not stop thinking. They replayed every detail. Every smile. Every word. Every moment connected to you. For the first time, they wondered whether destiny had been trying to reveal this truth all along. And then one final sentence was spoken before the conversation ended. It was simple. It was quiet. But it stayed with them long after everyone had gone home. The person looked at your soulmate and said, "Sometimes the greatest treasure is standing right in front of us while we're searching somewhere else." Those words remained in complete silence. No one argued. No one laughed. No one changed the subject. Because everyone knew something meaningful had just happened. Your soulmate walked away carrying far more than information. They carried a new perspective. A new understanding. A new appreciation for someone they thought they already knew. Don't skip. Because this is only the beginning of what unfolded after last night. The next moments would reveal emotions your soulmate never expected to experience, questions they could no longer ignore, and a decision that would quietly begin changing everything. Something huge is waiting for you. Before the sun had even risen, your soulmate realized they had barely slept. Every time they closed their eyes, the same conversation returned. Every word. Every detail. Every truth. It echoed through their thoughts with remarkable clarity, as though it had been written on their heart instead of spoken into the air. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They sat quietly, wondering how they could have missed so much. The picture they once believed was complete had suddenly become only a small corner of a much greater story. They were no longer asking, "Who are you?" Instead, they were asking, "How did I fail to see who you truly are?" That question followed them everywhere. As the morning unfolded, ordinary moments no longer felt ordinary. A familiar place reminded them of a memory involving you. A familiar song carried words that suddenly felt connected to your journey. Even the smallest moments seemed to whisper your name. The truth they had heard last night refused to leave. Then another realization quietly appeared. They remembered a time when you stayed calm while others reacted emotionally. At the time, they thought you were simply quiet. Now they understood you were showing strength. They remembered a moment when you encouraged someone else instead of seeking attention for yourself. At the time, they barely noticed. Now they understood it revealed your character. Memory after memory returned. Each one looked completely different through the light of the truth they had just learned. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate began connecting pieces they had never connected before. The moments when you chose patience. The times you stayed respectful even when nobody expected you to. The times you remained hopeful while carrying challenges that very few people ever knew existed. Every forgotten memory became another confirmation. They could no longer convince themselves that these were coincidences. Something deeper had always been there. Something real. Something unforgettable. Then they remembered one sentence from the previous night. Some people reveal their greatness quietly. Those words suddenly became impossible to ignore. Your soulmate realized that while the world often notices loud voices, true character is usually discovered in quiet moments. And that was exactly where your story had been waiting. Don't skip. This is where everything becomes even more surprising. Later that day, another unexpected conversation happened. Without planning it, your soulmate met someone else who also knew you. This person smiled when your name was mentioned. Not because they had heard rumors. Because they had witnessed your actions. They shared another story. A story about your generosity. A story about your honesty. A story about how you chose kindness when no one was watching. It was completely different from the first conversation. Yet every detail pointed to the same conclusion. Your soulmate became speechless. Two different people. Two different stories. One identical truth. By now, doubt had completely disappeared. The image they once carried had transformed into something entirely new. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For the first time, they stopped asking what others thought about you. Instead, they began asking themselves a much more important question. What if this person has been the answer to questions I never even knew I was asking? That single thought remained with them throughout the entire day. It followed every step. Every decision. every quiet moment. Even when they tried thinking about something else, their heart gently returned to you. They found themselves remembering your smile. Not because of appearance. Because it carried peace. They remembered your words. Not because they were impressive. Because they were sincere. They remembered your presence. Not because it demanded attention. Because it brought comfort. Slowly, something beautiful began happening. Admiration replaced assumption. Respect replaced uncertainty. Understanding replaced confusion. Don't skip. Because the greatest revelation had not arrived yet. As evening approached, your soulmate returned to the place where they had heard the truth the previous night. The room looked exactly the same. The chairs had not moved. The walls had not changed. But they were completely different. The same place now carried new meaning. They stood there quietly and whispered to themselves. I wish I had understood this sooner. There was no audience. No applause. No dramatic moment. Just a quiet realization that felt larger than words. Then something unexpected happened. They opened an old conversation connected to you. This time, they read every message slowly. Every sentence sounded different. Every kind word carried greater value. Every encouraging thought revealed something they had overlooked before. The truth had changed not only how they saw you. It had changed how they remembered you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They finally understood that genuine people are often misunderstood before they are fully appreciated. And suddenly, they wondered whether you had been waiting all this time without expecting anything in return. That realization touched them deeply. They began asking themselves questions that had never crossed their mind before. What dreams are they still carrying? What hopes remain inside their heart? What have they quietly sacrificed? What kind of future are they hoping for? These questions were no longer driven by curiosity. They came from genuine care. Something inside them had awakened. Not because someone persuaded them. Because truth has a quiet way of opening the heart. And then, one final revelation arrived before the day came to an end. The same person who had spoken the night before looked at your soulmate again and smiled. This time, they said only one sentence. If knowing the truth has changed your heart this much in one day, imagine what will happen when you truly understand their entire story. Silence filled the room. Your soulmate lowered their eyes for a moment. Then they smiled. Not because every answer had arrived, but because they knew they had just taken the first step toward discovering something they never wanted to lose again. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your soulmate decides next will surprise everyone, including themselves, and the next chapter begins with a choice that neither of you could have predicted. There is one part of the story that no one expected, and this is where everything changed forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. After hearing the truth about you, your soulmate thought the surprises were over. They believed they had already discovered everything they needed to know. But life had prepared one more unforgettable moment. The next morning, they walked through their day carrying a completely different heart. Every ordinary moment reminded them of the conversation that had changed everything. They smiled less at distractions and thought more about what was truly valuable. Then something unexpected happened. Without searching for it, they met another person who knew you well. It wasn't planned. It wasn't arranged. It simply happened. Your name came up naturally, and your soulmate quietly listened, wondering if they would hear something different this time. Instead, they heard the same truth once again. The person smiled warmly and said, "Whenever people need someone they can trust, your name always comes to mind." Your soulmate froze. Another confirmation. Another unexpected piece of the same story. It was becoming impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Because this was only the beginning. The conversation continued. They heard how you encouraged people who had almost given up. They heard how you celebrated other people's success without jealousy. They heard how you remained humble even when you deserved recognition. Every sentence carried quiet power. Your soulmate wasn't amazed because the stories were dramatic. They were amazed because every story revealed the same heart. The same kindness. The same consistency. The same quiet strength. For the first time, they realized something extraordinary. Great character doesn't appear once. It appears again and again in different places, through different people, without needing to announce itself. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the day continued, your soulmate began replaying every memory involving you. They remembered conversations they had almost forgotten. They remembered moments when you listened more than you spoke. They remembered times when you chose understanding over being right. Suddenly, those small moments became priceless. What once seemed ordinary now looked extraordinary. Your soulmate quietly whispered, "How did I miss this?" No one answered. The answer was already inside them. Sometimes we only recognize the value of a person after we finally understand the truth behind their actions. That realization stayed with them. Every hour. Every thought. Every quiet moment. Then another surprise arrived. While looking through old messages, they discovered something they had overlooked long ago. A simple sentence from you. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't emotional. It was sincere. Reading it again after hearing the truth changed everything. The words now carried warmth they had never noticed before. The kindness behind them became unmistakable. The honesty became impossible to ignore. They realized that nothing about you had changed. Only their understanding had. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As evening arrived, your soulmate stepped outside, hoping fresh air would quiet their thoughts. Instead, the silence made them think even more. They looked at the sky and asked themselves, "What if this truth reached me exactly when I needed it?" The question remained unanswered. But deep inside, they felt it wasn't an accident. They remembered every coincidence that had brought your paths together. Every unexpected meeting. Every meaningful conversation. Every moment that once felt ordinary. Now each one seemed connected. Like invisible pieces leading toward one unforgettable realization. Then they remembered the final words spoken the night before. Some truths arrive late, not because they are unimportant, but because they become most meaningful at the right time. Those words suddenly made perfect sense. Your soulmate smiled quietly. Not because every mystery had been solved, but because they finally understood they had been looking at your story through incomplete pages. Now they wanted to know the entire book. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. That night, before closing their eyes, they made a promise to themselves. They would never again judge your heart by assumptions. They would never again overlook the quiet qualities that made you unique. They would pay attention. They would listen carefully. They would appreciate what had been in front of them all along. And as that promise settled in their heart, something remarkable happened. The uncertainty they had carried for so long slowly disappeared. In its place came admiration, respect, curiosity, hope. Not because someone told them to feel those things. Because truth has a remarkable way of changing the direction of a heart. They realized your story was far greater than they had imagined. Your strength was deeper. Your kindness was richer. Your character was brighter. And somehow, every new discovery made them appreciate you even more. Don't skip. Because the biggest turning point has not happened yet. Very soon, your soulmate will face a quiet decision that has the power to change the path ahead. It will begin with one unexpected step, one unforgettable moment, and one choice that neither of you ever imagined would become possible. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter begins where doubt finally gives way to certainty.